Hi, good evening. Yes, again, another indoors uh, update on the crossmember situation on my Saab 900 Turbo 16S Aero SPG. Uh, Update, sort of strip the fans down. The green one is the normal fan, the black cable is the air conditioning fan. So that on my car, that's the right hand side fan. That's the left hand side fan. Haven't got a clue. I've asked this on social media why the lettering is uh, backward and missing the eye. Mold marks, quality marks, uh, balancing marks, really don't know. But as far as the fan's concerned, I've stripped them down, sorted out the brushes, cleaned up the commutator on the motor. Uh, Hopefully, I haven't put 12 volts on them, but they should be ready to go. The radiator is a bit iffy, which I showed on my last video. It's not leaking, but the internal fins are a bit perished. So, I mean, least of my problems at the moment. Probably get that recalled because it's a genuine Saab one. I've been messing about with my shrinker stretcher. It's a dual uh, shrinker and a stretcher. Just change the duals. Over to the cross member. Obviously, you know this was toast, and it probably still is toast, but we are getting there. Uh, so where we are now is I want to show you this because any updates from now on is probably going to be after I get all this acid dipped and shot blasted. It's going to be back on the car. This is all to do with regaining the datum points, which I didn't have. So obviously we've got the flute that joins up to the inner wing. This is the on my car the left hand side. All these are loose steels. Nothing is welded as such. I've got to cut out all these bits, but obviously, I'm using CAD, cardboard aided design, as they use. Uh, that should once it's all trimmed off to there, because that's where I cut it off the car. That should marry up quite nice once it's all tack welded in. It's a three layer fitment. You've got the panel that comes back towards the suspension turret. You've got the lower valance, and you obviously got the upper cross member. This side, uh, again, I need to start tacking it back to the car before I get all these points in. That's obviously a stereo flute, which is opposite to that on that side. But what about I've been messing about in the garage today, and this is the lower battery box cover. That's a side beam. I mean, I've shown this on a couple of videos. Weighs a ton actually now because it's in 2.2mm steel. It's uncut. I don't know exactly where the mounting points are. They're a H-shaped mounting point, but I'll again once I tack the main beam back into the car, which hopefully the weather's improving in the UK. Tonight's freezing. It's about -1, but hopefully I can start marrying all this back up and rebuilding because like I've said, I'm trying to keep as much originality to the car as I can. Parts are totally obsolete. So for the battery box lower section, I've just basically tacked in a few points, did a bit of bead rolling because there is a bead roll there. There's a bead roll there which comes up into this cross member. Approximately that corner of the lower battery box panel will meet the very corner of the car here. I've tacked all this in. I put a line there. That is basically all this is waste. The actual line of the car will come round about here, and all this will be cut away. And then once I repair the lower section of the inner wing, that should all tie in nicely to that. The beam, yeah, like I said, the beam's totally oversized. There's a part number 8274706. I've noticed on the passenger side or the near side that the lower section of the beam has gone, but this section of that side is quite intact. There's a couple of holes that I'll need to put some some cornflakes in, but yes, it looks shitty, but I'm quite happy actually, considering what I had to start with. Everything needs dressing, everything needs acid dipping, everything needs shot blasting, but it's all about bringing it back. This side, we've got the lower drive shaft mountings. I'm not that far off. I'm really not that far off. Get some nice weather. I mean, yes, it's all. I don't, as you know, you probably know, I don't like welding. It's shit. But there you go. Cut this down here tomorrow, and with my bead roller, which I've been messing about with today, I can start bending these sections in. This is like a lower section, and it's got a slight flange on it which meets that flange there. So if I can carry that on, that's why I put those dowels in there. That will eventually carry on around to this section, and we are almost there. It's once it's all tacked in, get my horizontals in, level all this off, put my gearbox mounting brackets back in. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Jesus Christ, we're getting there. So basically, just an update really of where I'm sort of at. I can't really go any further. It's bloody freezing outside. Tack all these bits in, form that bit, dress all this, send it for acid dipping. All this is nice and solid. I've got my datum points. That's about 6mm. It's not actually true. It's just got a couple of clamps on it. Trim all that edge off. On the underside, I can show you because it's bloody heavy. Re-drill the 25mm holes, which is stereo to the left hand side. If stereo, because they're part of your oil cooler if you are a left-hand drive. On my side, there's one oil cooler hole there and one that comes into the inner wheel arch, but I've put them in for authenticity. Originally I think they were grommeted drain holes, but they're 25mm. The one in the battery box cover is a 40mm, I think, here. So I'll replicate that. I've got the bung as it was, keeping the originality. Loads of pinholes, but seriously getting there. All this has got to be cut. This is true. That's oversized, so all this will be cut off. I've got me slam panel lower mounting point here, which I cut the nuts off, and they're in the evaporust. There's another one that goes there. I've got one there. So slowly it'll all come together. Just a bit of bending, stretching, you know what I mean? We've all been there. I mean, I'm quite limited. I mean, obviously don't do what I do. I'm just an amateur. But it's only because of the huge price that people charge for these parts, and basically keeping the originality of the car, and c'est la vie, whatever. So there you go. There's obviously the lower drive shaft tunnel panel, which I only need about this section. That'll come up to the suspension turret on the driver's side. It's just a case of marrying up. So hopefully, you're probably sick of being in the bleeding house like I am. But I mean, it's so cold outside. What else can you do? So hopefully, in the next few days, I'll give you an update. I'll tack all this in or clamp it all in, get my dating points, strip it all out, send it off for the media blasting or media cleaning. I have bought a little sub aqua blaster that attaches to my Karcher K7. I got that. It's I think it's 2,800 psi. My K7. I'm going to try that on my suspension parts rather than dipping, because obviously with the citric acid, you shouldn't really use it on suspension parts because it does get brittle. So that's probably a little bit of a video that hopefully I'll film. Up to now, that's where we are. We are getting there. Lots of cutting away, lots of cleaning up. But everything is uniform within reason to the original structure that I cut away. Will this pleasure never end? You know what I mean? But I suppose it's got to be done. That'll fit nicely there. 25mm hole, oval, I think it's 12mm hole. Bring all this back into alignment, slightly off, but it will be cut away. Trim off the front end, seam sealer, epoxy primer, and we're good to go. So there you go, just a quick update. That's all it was to where I am. Looking Matt Searle's book, there was a question that I put on social media: why was the 2 lever points on this is the AID 1981 prototype, 2 lever points on the hubcaps? Bizarre, crazy, but there you go. Chap called Wardle, probably a family member actually, on my mum's side, who knows, but there you go. Messing about with the bead roller, getting all my dies sorted out, bead rollers out, spannered up. Gonna get that clamped up tomorrow. And that's it. Heineken, beer, good night.